Thanks for tuning in. The Barbershop Sports Talk.
Oh, we're back with Barbershop Sports Talk. We still have Kenny Sim with us as we are going over our NFL awards. Before we were just talking about offense. Now let's get to defense. So, defensive tackle of the year. Is it Aaron Donald still? Aaron Donald without a doubt?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to end. Best defensive end / pass rusher.
Yeah, so best end here, I would give it here to Myles Garrett, who was first team All Pro. He still put up 12 and a half sacks. And sacks plus tackle for losses. I look at that metric. He's well over 30. He's making 2 plays a game in the backfield. Also, he had early in the season, he had 4 forced fumbles that turned into strip sacks at key points of the game. So I'm going to give it here to Myles Garrett. Also a force in the run game. Teams don't even run to him anymore. Opens up one-on-ones for other people. So I'm going to give it to Myles Garrett ahead of T.J. Watt in this case.
How close are they? Or do you think Myles?
Yeah, they're really similar. They're very similar. He was the number 1 pick in 2017. I think T.J. Watt. I think he went number 30 that year to the Steelers. But Myles Garrett, he missed. I think he missed 3 games with COVID. That really, not only in terms of games, you're not putting up the stats, but it really took a lot out of his respiratory system, and he was a different player coming back from that. And before he got COVID, though, he was on a Defensive Player of the Year track with probably Aaron Donald and Watt. So it is close between the two. I think he's a little bit more elite as a pass rusher than T.J. Watt. I think he could beat you in different ways, but it's close. And I would say those are the 2 best edge rushers in football right now.
Linebacker. Who's the best linebacker in the NFL?
Yeah, so for this year, I'm going to give it to the guy playing in the Super Bowl this year, Devin White.
Didn't make a Pro Bowl, by the way, which was a travesty.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that's a shocker, and he really should have. And I don't know, taking a look at the All-Pro list too. But here's the thing with Devin White is Devin White is playing an off-ball linebacker position that doesn't really blitz a lot and acquire a lot of sacks. But he had 9 sacks this year, being a force in the blitz game. Could cover sideline to sideline, top 10 in tackles for losses. So he's not only eating up those tackles, but he's making tackles that affect the game behind the backfield. You add that up. I'll say in terms of those impact plays, sacks plus tackle for losses, go find me a linebacker that had more than 27, which is what Devin White had. I'm going to give it to him in this case.
Cornerback of the year.
Yeah, so cornerback, there was a 2-horse race, I think, for that top cornerback. I'm going to give it to Jalen Ramsey, though. I think it's the top corner in the game, and he really played a multitude of positions in the secondary for the Rams, moving around. But you take a look at kind of what he did against Nuke Hopkins, DK Metcalf. I think DK Metcalf, I think in 3 meetings he caught 4 passes for 44 yards on Ramsey with a lot of targets. So he was doing that all year, and I think he really solidified himself as the premier corner in football, and that's a position that's very deep with a lot of good players. Just missing that list was Xavier Howard.
Led the NFL in interceptions.
Yeah, as the number 2 corner in football of Miami Dolphins, he led all corners or all defensive players this year. 20 PBUs, and a NFL high 10 interceptions. But teams just really weren't throwing to Jalen Ramsey to get that, but I'm going to give it to Ramsey here.
And best safety.
Yeah, best safety. I think it's Jamal Adams in this case. It's not only what he does playing the post and playing up high, but playing in the box. And he had 9.5 sacks this year for a safety. He had 9.5 sacks, more than Yannick Ngakoue, Cameron Jordan, Khalil Mack, more than all of those guys. He's playing safety. He's a force in the run game, tackles for losses, plays very fast, sideline to sideline, and I think him coming back from a little injury he had in the first part of the season, I think when he came back, you saw how important he was to that Seattle defense when they really got back on track and at least got to an average level. Because in the first part of the year, you'll remember they're on a pace, giving up a historic amount of yards a game. And I think getting a guy, perennial Pro Bowler, back in Jamal Adams, really helps Seattle's defense out play at a pretty good level down the stretch.
So let's go to this now that we went through every position group.